All right, we're going deep underground, right into the shadows of the Roman Empire. We're about to uncover one of the ancient world's most mysterious, most exclusive religions. I'm talking about a faith that spread through the legions like wildfire and then poof, just vanished, almost without a trace.
And honestly, this isn't just history class stuff. It has the feel of a genuine thriller. Think about it. While all these grand temples to Jupiter and Mars were out in the open, standing in the sun, something else was growing down in the darkness. It was like a shadow state, with its own rules, its own gods, and its own fiercely loyal followers.
So that's the big question we're trying to answer. What exactly was this secret, and why was it so powerful that the toughest soldiers in the entire world would pledge their absolute, undying loyalty to it? Well, the answer, it lies hidden in these underground chambers scattered all across the ancient world.
Okay, I want you to just imagine this for a second. You step out of the bright, noisy Roman Forum, and you descend this narrow staircase into just absolute darkness. The air gets cold, you know? The only light you can see is from a single flickering torch. This was the Mithraic. It was the sacred space of the cult, and believe me, it was designed to feel like you were stepping into another world entirely.
And what's so fascinating about this is how deliberate the design was. I mean, these weren't just basements, not at all. They were powerful architectural and psychological tools. See, by creating these windowless vaults, they were mimicking the cosmic cave where their god, Mithras, was born. So to enter one, that meant leaving the Roman state completely behind and stepping into this sacred, secret universe that was only accessible to the Brotherhood.
So the big question is, what actually happened inside these secret caves? Well, to really get this cult, you have to understand its central, and I mean central, violent, and deeply symbolic core belief.
This image right here, it's called the Taurok Tony, and it was the absolute centerpiece of every single Mithraic. No exceptions. It shows their god Mithras in this moment of cosmic sacrifice, slaying a sacred bull. And for the initiates, this wasn't just some brutal, violent image. No, for them, this was the very moment the universe was given life. This was the act that brought forth all of creation and fertility.
But there was so much more hidden in plain sight here. The Tauroctony wasn't just a picture, it was actually a celestial map. It was filled with all these symbols of the zodiac, and they were meant to guide an initiate's soul on its journey through the stars. And while they're looking at this, members would be sitting on these stone benches, sharing a ritual meal of meat and wine, literally reenacting that divine sacrifice. This is how they forged this incredibly powerful blood covenant with each other.
Okay, so you have this incredibly powerful belief system, right? Well, that requires an equally powerful social structure to enforce all that secrecy. So how did you even become a part of this world? Let me tell you, the process was grueling, and it was specifically designed to forge a totally unbreakable bond.
See, a new recruit didn't just sign up, he had to ascend. There were 7 distinct grades of initiation. You'd start out as a lowly Korax, which means raven, and you'd have to climb all the way to the top, to pater, or father. This whole ladder of advancement was made to mirror the strict discipline of the Roman military, and it gave every single member a really clear path to power inside the cult.
And advancing through those ranks? Oh, it was not easy. The initiations were apparently terrifying ordeals. I mean, we're talking about intense trials involving fire, water, and even simulated death. The whole point was to completely break down a man's individual ego and then rebuild him as a loyal, unquestioning member of the Brotherhood.
Now, think about what this created. It was something truly radical within Roman society. Because inside the Mithraic, your social status on the outside, it meant absolutely nothing. A common soldier who had climbed the rank of lion could actually outrank a wealthy nobleman who was still stuck at raven. It was a true meritocracy, based purely on devotion, and that created bonds that went way beyond Roman law.
So, with this incredibly powerful structure in place, the cult just spread. It went viral, becoming this secret network, a kind of shadow state, operating right inside the most powerful institution in the entire empire, the army.
Mithraism pretty much became the unofficial religion of the Roman legions. It spread all along the frontiers, from Hadrian's Wall in Britain all the way to the deserts of Syria. And if you think about it, for a soldier facing constant danger, it offered everything you could want: a code of honor, the sense of hypermasculinity, a promise of life after death, and, most importantly, an unwavering brotherhood forged in secret. And get this,
These vaults, they weren't just for worship. They were secure spaces where the shadow state could operate, where officers could plot military maneuvers, and where soldiers could build loyalties that were maybe even stronger than their oath to the emperor.
But Mithraism wasn't the only new game in town. It wasn't the only new religion competing for followers. As it was growing there in the shadows, another movement was rising up in the light, and this set the stage for a final, epic war for the very soul of the Roman Empire.
And when you put them side by side, the parallels are just startling. I mean, look at this. Both Mithraism and early Christianity had a savior figure, a ritual meal, a belief, and a final judgment. They were, for a long time, direct competitors. But there was one fundamental difference, and that one difference would ultimately decide the winner.
So what was it? What was the one fatal flaw that sealed Mithraism's fate? The thing that condemned it to be buried and forgotten, while Christianity, as we all know, went on to basically conquer the world.
Ironically, its greatest strength was also its fatal flaw, its exclusivity. You see, Mithraism was for men only, period. And by excluding half the population, it just couldn't ever fully integrate into Roman society. It couldn't build families, it couldn't grow beyond its military base. Christianity, on the other hand, welcomed everyone, men, women, slaves, nobles, you name it. It was just way more adaptable. And so, by the 4th century, the Mithraic temples were abandoned, filled in with rubble, their secrets buried for almost 2,000 years.
You know, the story of Mithras is such a powerful reminder that history really is written by the victors. And its rediscovery, it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? How many other secret worlds, how many other forgotten beliefs and rival histories are still lying right there, just beneath our feet, waiting to be rediscovered?